This is my video review of the Lilliput H7s SDI camera monitor. So let's see if this $300 monitor is worth it. Let's start with the specifications. First and foremost, the Lilliput H7s boasts a stunning 1920 by 1200 IPS panel, providing exceptional color accuracy and wide viewing angles. It's also worth noting that the retail price for this monitor is less than $300, making it an excellent option for those on a budget. But what really sets this monitor apart is its ultra-bright 1800 nits peak brightness, which is truly impressive. It's probably one of the brightest monitors I've ever seen. This makes it ideal for use in bright outdoor environments or for HDR content. The Lilliput H7s also allow users to upload 3D LUTs via USB for viewing or previewing, although it's worth noting that this feature is not intended for grading on the monitor itself. Additionally, it accepts both SDI and HDMI inputs and outputs up to 30p. The monitor also includes view assist features such as focus peaking, histogram and more, making it very useful to expose properly. So a short backstory. I used the Sony f5s in my camera for most of my shoots, but unfortunately the HDMI port on my camera broke. This was a major issue for me since I only had an HDMI monitor, and I needed to convert the SDI output of my camera to HDMI. I bought a SDI to HDMI converter, but it turned out to be really inefficient, so I had to send it back and I started looking for a monitor that would accept SDI input directly instead. That's when I came across the Lilliput H7s monitor. The main features that caught my attention were its ultra-bright 1800 nits brightness, SDI in and output, and support for Sony BP batteries. And one of the best parts was that it retails for less than $300. Next up is the brightness and the colors. This monitor is one of the brightest I've ever seen, and while it doesn't blow my Atomos Shinobi out of the water, it's definitely brighter. But it's not just the brightness that's impressive. The colors from the IPS panel are vivid and accurate as well. I'm really excited to use this monitor for shoots on bright summer days. I'm confident that even without a hood, it will still be extremely visible in direct sunlight. However, it's important to note that using the monitor at maximum brightness will eat up batteries much faster. Therefore, I recommend using the 1800 nits brightness setting only if you really need it, and adjusting the brightness in the settings to save battery life, especially when indoors. Apart from the features I mentioned before, the Lilliput H7s monitor comes with all the regular features you'd expect from a camera monitor. It has focus peaking and exposure tools such as zebras and histogram to ensure that you get the perfect shot every time. It does have a programmable button which I've set to peaking for easy access. The monitor also lets you preview a range of aspect ratios, including 16:9, 1:1 and 2:39 CinemaScope. It does lack anamorphic D-squeeze, but that's probably not Lilliput's demographic for this monitor. One of the things I really appreciate about this monitor is its hot swappable batteries. You can change one of the two batteries while you're recording, which means that you don't have to worry about running out of power during a shoot. The monitor also comes with a handy audio meter, although I personally won't be using it. As a user of the Sony camera system, I was excited to discover that the Lilliput H7s comes with several built-in LUTs for converting S-Log2 and S-Log3 to Rec 709 color space. It's a great feature. However, it's a bit disappointing that the built-in LUTs are only for Sony cameras, and not for cameras from other manufacturers, like Blackmagic, Canon or Red. One issue I noticed when using LUTs on the H7s is that applying a LUT changes the histogram metering. This makes it very difficult to expose properly and is something that my Atomos Shinobi monitor doesn't have an issue with. It would be great if Lilliput could address this issue with a software update. Despite the metering issue, the LUT themselves look correct and doesn't introduce any nasty color banding, which is something I've experienced with my Shinobi monitor. The build quality of the Lilliput H7s is somewhat questionable, as it's made of plastic and feels like it could easily break with minimal force. However, despite this, it still feels like it's made with precision and attention to detail. The ports are stiff and rugged, and there's no flex or give when connecting cables. The buttons are tactile and clicky, which is a nice touch. One great thing about this monitor is the mounting options. It has a 1/4-inch screw mount on each side, which is perfect for rigging it to your camera or mounting it onto a tripod. In terms of input and output options, the Lilliput H7s comes with both SDI and HDMI input and output. This is great for pass-through to another monitor or recorder, giving you more flexibility when working on set. There's also another version called simply H7, which only has HDMI input and output, so make sure that you grab the H7s if you need SDI. When it comes to the packaging and box contents, the Lilliput H7s monitor comes with an AC adapter, but oddly enough, it was placed in a separate plain white box outside of the monitor packaging. The monitor itself comes with a micro HDMI cable and a mini HDMI cable, which is nice, but it would have been better if they included an SDI cable instead of the HDMI cables, especially since the H7s is designed for SDI use. Aside from the cables, the packaging also includes a small bag for storing the monitor, which is a thoughtful addition. It also comes with a monitor mount for your camera rig. This is also very nice, considering the monitor's price point. The package comes with all the necessary accessories included to get you started right out of the box. It's just a shame that the AC adapter was packaged separately and that the included cables were not entirely suited for the H7s model. Some users have reported hearing a noise coming from the monitor, but in my experience the monitor is super quiet and I can't hear any noise at all. Another concern that some users have raised is inaccurate colors or banding in the shadows. However, in my usage, the colors have looked great and I haven't noticed any issues with banding at all. One area that remains to be seen is the battery drainage. While the monitor does have hot swappable batteries and various power saving features, it's yet to be determined how long the batteries will last during extended use. This is something that I will keep an eye on in the future. Overall, the Lilliput H7s is a high-quality option for filmmakers and videographers. With its super bright IPS display and accurate colors, it offers excellent viewing experiences in various lighting conditions. It also includes a range of useful features, such as focus peaking, exposure tools, programmable buttons, and aspect ratio previews. Additionally, the monitor's build quality and mounting options make it easy to use on set. However, there are some drawbacks to consider, such as the plastic material used in its construction and the lack of support for non-Sony LUTs, unless you load them yourself. So overall, the Lilliput H7s is a solid choice for those in need of a reliable camera monitor at a really affordable price. Hope you found my video review useful, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.